Hey everybody, move my camera a little bit. So, here I am again for episode 7. I don't know how far I'm going to get today because in part this is just about, in part I'm experimenting with a few things. So, you can probably see on the right there, I've been messing around a little bit. I spent some money and because somebody, my buddy Lawrence, who's a gamer in the Toronto area, told me that he was aware of these smart dice. So I ordered a set. So the way they come, they're called GoDice. From for a minute, the name of the company is escaping me. It doesn't really matter. GoDice. So they're kind of some cool ideas here. So they come all as D6s. In fact, I'm just going to kind of take these out. They come as D6s that have on the 5s. There's I don't know if you can really kind of see that. On the 5s, there's there's the charging element. So these things are all Bluetooth capable, and I don't know whether I just accidentally kind of did something weird or not there. So they're all Bluetooth capable, and you can roll them, and apparently I did. And they also, I bought the D&D dice kind of casings that come with it for, so you can basically have you can basically have everything from a D4 up to D20 as well as your percentile dice on there. However, the 6-sided dice I'm perfectly happy with, no problem. Oops, and I think I just rolled one of those right under my desktop computer here. You can see that every time I kind of drop a die, it's throwing it to the throwing it onto the screen there. So this is the D20. It's a little big, but it is 20 sides. If you roll it, I've managed to get it set up 9 so that it automatically sends to roll 20. So the idea here for me was that I could still roll real dice. Right? Still roll real dice. Should come up as a 16. There we go. One moment here because I hear a barking dog. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, the D20, happy, cool, awesome. You know, can roll the die. That should come up as an 8. Should come up as an 8. No, it's not going to roll. Okay, that one came up. It was a 1. Apparently, it kind of needs a bit of a bounce. But we can also kind of take a whole bunch of dice. There's 5 other dice here. Roll them all. And it'll add them up even, which is kind of, well, mostly kind of cool. It added some of them up. Alright, whatever. We got dice. We got virtual-ish kind of dice, which will be kind of fun to play with. However, as I was saying, the other dice, perhaps I should have looked into this product a little bit more. This is a D4. It is basically a 20-sided die, as far as I can tell. I think it's a 20-sided die. Maybe it's a 24-sided die. Probably a 24-sided die with 1 to 4 several times. This is the D12. This is the D8. Here's our D10s. One has the 10 side, one has the 1 side. These are not doable. Like, I can't just look at it and go, yeah, that's the D10, grab it and roll it. That's not going to work for me. I think it's a cool idea, I really do. But in the end, the only thing I'm probably going to use are the D6s and the D20. Because that's not going to work for me at all. There's no way. Anyway, it comes with this little charging station. So when you need to charge it, you put the 5 side down on it, and you just hold it there. It only takes a few seconds to charge. That's very cool. I like that idea. And then you should be good to go. And you can roll your dice. Cool. Awesome. It requires an extension, the Go RPG extension, which took a little bit of messing around with to get working here. I think in part just because I was having some struggles, maybe finding it was having issues finding it on Bluetooth, which my computer, basically your whatever you're using Roll20 on needs to have access to Bluetooth, and then it'll do what you want there, right? Like then you kind of just basically it needs to connect to Bluetooth to your system. I was hoping what it was going to do was connect somehow to Roll20 through the app on my phone. Not the way it works, though. That's fine. I get it. I should probably have, looked a little bit more at the at the product rather than just going, ooh, smart dice, and placing an order. All good. Still, kind of a cool idea. For instance, if I pick up a 6-sided die, we'll roll that, and we rolled a 4. Pick up 3 6-sided dice. Roll them. That should come up as an 11. Very cool, right? So, it'll at least be good for attack rolls and any other d20 kind of roll. Certain attribute checks are handy. All I did was set it down that time, but it rolled it. It'll also be handy for character creation, where I can get the idea that... Now, there's something that's wonky, is that it seems to kind of struggle a little bit with keeping connection. And when they go to sleep, when they go to sleep, I find they completely lose connection to the app, and I have to pry this apart. See, this is kind of held together through force and a magnet. And there's got to be a better way to deal with these, but you pry these apart, then the die's inside. And the only way I've found, at least connecting to the app on my phone... Oh, see? Now it's having issues. It's not connecting again. There we go. It connected. But at least it knew I rolled it. See, you kind of see where my dice rolls go, right? But so I found that the only way to reconnect it is pull it out and stick it on the charger, and that makes it reconnect. That sucks to do for an entire set of dice, but it's going to be there. This is mostly for my interest, or I suppose my fun, because I wanted to be able to roll real dice. I love the idea that I can roll real dice, but I also wanted those dice to feel like real RPG polyhedrals. That was not the case for everything but the 6-sided and the 20-sided dice. So the others are going away. I don't care. I don't want them. not for this purpose. But going back here, I kind of did a little bit of work here. One is I finished off our character here, Leocadia, who is the thief who's going to be recruited here. Been using just a couple of AI programs just to kind of come up with some sheets. For her, I went heavy on seeing as she's got a good dexterity and everything. She's got a decent con, so we ended up with she's got good hit points as a thief. She might take a hit, and I also made sure to go kind of make a focus with her as a ranged character, as she should really not be up front and center. Another thing I did was I created a party token to be able to move around on the main map here to show where the party is at any given time. I don't know if I really need this because I've got my notes, but I wonder what. And somebody had posted this. I did a bit of a search. I kind of pull it aside here. We'll just zoom in. It's essentially a D20 on top of an open book with a sword stuck in one side, and I'm assuming that's supposed to be a staff stuck in the other. So it works fairly well. This will, at least for the hex crawling part, we'll be able to keep track of where the party is. Our graveyard, of course, has earned another person, another player character in there. And I was looking at retainers, because last time I wanted to we were having some issues, and apparently I'm making it more difficult on myself than I really should be. If I want more player characters in the party, why don't I just say, hey, we recruit 2 more player characters into the party, like a freaking D&D game happens, right? Hey, you want to come play D&D with us? Here you go, create a character. We don't have a, or hey, we need some extra people in the party. Why don't you play another one? And there you go, right? So instead I'm making it extra hard on myself by insisting that we try to recruit adventurers, but that's the way I decided to do things, and I screwed myself over a little bit, as we found it was difficult to find adventurers. So I started looking for retainer information. I found a cool post by James Mishler. I do not remember what site I was on. I think I was on a Reddit post. Actually, no, that's not right. It would have been on some forum. So, James, if you happen to see this, thanks. I kind of stole some of your ideas here. So, we're going to deal with retainer costs like this. Now, there was he suggested that, I guess, from either AD&D First Edition or the Holmes Edition of the old school D&D, there was a cost for finding prospective NPCs. I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen. Either they hire them or they don't. And I'm going to use Mythic to determine whether they find retainers that are worthy, or whether they even find anybody who's interested in doing this. So we're going to go with initial recruitment costs, the offer per... I think the idea was the offer per adventure or per task kind of thing is going to be 10 gold pieces for a 0 level, 50 gold pieces for a 2nd level, and 100 gold pieces... 50 gold pieces for first level and 100 gold pieces for a 2nd level character, okay? 0 level characters will be just like normal humans, right? So, at least in terms of the way the D&D book monster stuff is laid out. So, once they're found and an offer of payment is made, I can make a charisma check with a +1 bonus with each. Sorry, that should be with +1 bonus for each similar sum. So, basically added to sweeten the deal. So if I offer them 10 gold pieces, I'm just rolling a flat charisma check. Good for someone good if our recruiter has a high charisma, not good if he doesn't. So the way charisma checks work in old school D&D, for instance, let's say we're going to deal with Berham, who is likely to be the recruiter right now. It's kind of his party. He's got a charisma of 12. So it's average on the high end of average. So he goes to recruit somebody. I'm just going to make sure that this thing is connected before I start rolling it here. So he goes to recruit a retainer. He makes an offer of it to a 0 level character of 10 gold, rolls the dice, rolls a 7, the guy agrees. It's going to cost 10 gold to take this guy on this adventure, or for whatever purpose it is. I believe also we're going to have to deal with shares of treasure potentially if it goes on far enough, which I think we do have, yeah. So we can sweeten the deal by offering them more, and that'll give that +1 bonus. So instead of rolling on a 12 charisma, he'd be rolling on a 13 charisma, right? So plus they'll get a monthly base salary. I guess the idea is this is a monthly... I think this is per adventure, really. The monthly base salary is 2% of the NPC's XP in gold. So that's kind of the way, again, James kind of put this out there, so this is what I'm doing. So minimum 2 gold pieces per month. No retainer's going to go out fighting or doing whatever on a 2 gold pieces per month. Plus a full share of the treasure. They also, you check after each adventure to see if they decide to remain or whether they're good. Maybe they want to move on. If they're treated poorly or put in high levels of danger, I'm thinking their morale is going to be like, hell no, we're not staying. In fact, I might just use the mythic fate chart there to determine that. PCs also have to supply their needed equipment. So if they need armor or weapons or food or anything that they're going to require for the thing other than, I guess, basic clothes, the PCs are responsible for that cost. And during combat, retainers don't have quite the same buy-in that the player characters do. So they're going to take morale checks like an NPC or monsters do, right? So, because they basically are NPCs. So should the battle, should certain things like they're way outnumbered, somebody dies, they start taking damage, things start looking bad, whatever, I'm going to force morale checks on them, and they might break and say, we're out of here, forget it. It very well could happen. I'm just going to close this for a second, and I'm going to quickly pause again. Okay, there we go. So, I'm continuing on from our last session. This is still Scene 8, Rest and Recruitment, basically in Port Cyric. We had... I can't even remember whether we tested the scene, but it doesn't matter. Berham rests and heals for 2 days, and then starts searching out for additional adventurers. And when the call-out comes, a human woman arrives, a bow in hand, a sword and a dagger on her hips, and she asks, kind of, so what's in this, or what's the adventure? He says, well, we have many things that we need to do. We have, for instance, we should go to our proper adventure lists. He's recruiting. We have fish people to kill. They are currently engaged in many battles against the town, and they raid the docks on a regular basis, or whatever. I also have to go north, first of all, before we deal with the fish people. There is a wizard's home there that we must visit. And there I shall avenge the death of my old companion. Oh, and what happened to him? We were beset upon us by road bandits. They did much, things went very poorly for my friend Egil, and his body is still probably lying in the road. It was just the two of you, and they took one of you out and you fled. Well, Berham is maybe taken aback just a touch by this, seeing as, maybe there's something just a little bit accusatory in there. He says, well, with additional adventures by my side, we should have no problem with those bandits. Are you sure about that? Yeah, yes. You don't sound too sure. No, I'm absolutely positive. We can make short work of them. Perhaps we should be attempting to hire a few other adventurers if this is your plan. Well, yes, it will absolutely be worth it by going north to the Wizard's Tower. There is an apprentice there who apparently is possibly ready to join a party. Possibly. You risked your lives with the bandits, all for possibly. Are you interested in joining us or not? We will do many good deeds and collect gold. And yes, I do believe we shall collect gold. Fish people, I don't know how much gold they have, but any gold that's there, we shall split up. So she goes, all right, I'm in. I will join the party. I'm just going to make a quick adjustment here as I see my... So, there we go. So, Leocadia joins the party with the intention of making some good coin, while Berham continues his plans to bring law, order, and justice to the world. I guess that's kind of fair as to what we're dealing with there. So, over the next few days, they begin to kind of seek out retainers. As Berham has decided, it is best to go in with a few more men-at-arms if he can. So what we're going to be looking for here now is we need to know whether any of the town guard might be interested. That's kind of where he focuses. Leocadia goes out to deal with her own contacts and see if she can find anybody who might join them. Whereas Berham himself visits the barracks of the town guard, or the main space for them. Anyway, I believe what we're going to do is call. I'm going to need to make that a little brighter. We're going to call this. And then we're going to bring this up. 2 is Town Guard HQ, basically. That's what we're going to call that there. Berham seeks out the Town Guard and starts spreading the word that if anyone is interested in, some off-hours work to retrieve the body of his, fallen ally, that they should meet him at the Lone Rose Inn this evening. Okay. Here in my notes. Alright, so that evening, do any show up? Do we have any retainers that show up? I'm thinking, what are we on here for Chaos Factor again? We are on a Chaos Factor of 5 right now. And I'm thinking it's likely that they'll get a few that are interested in a little bit of extra work. So I'm going to roll my percentile here. 22. Yes, we do get some that will come out. Is it... I mean, how many are we looking for? We're probably only looking for a couple of men-at-arms kind of thing. Do we have 2? Do we get 2? I'll just call that 50. Actually, I will say that's likely. Let's call that likely. Do we get 2? 2 or... Yeah, do we get 2 exactly? Let's go with that. It's going to be a 64. That is a no, we don't get 2 exactly. Do we get more than 2? I'm thinking we're... Sorry, 64 actually, sorry. On a likely is a yes. We do get 2. 2 retainers. 2 town guards arrive that evening. So Berham absolutely speaks to them and he says... Gentlemen, thank you for coming. We are going to be heading north, likely in the morning, possibly the next day at the latest. We're going to take out these bandits and free the road to the wizard's home. That would be Ernesto Clan Gygax. Yes, exactly. We need to get there. Oh, I see. And how much exactly are you going to be paying us? Fully outfitted, and how much money does Berham actually have? Because this is going to be coming out of Leocadia. Is not really she's not really involved in this yet. She's part of the party, but she's like, nah, you want to hire these guys? This is on you. Berham is not a rich man, I believe. He has actually absolutely nothing. Between the 2 of them, they can pool together like 18 gold, and that's it. However, Berham also knows that on Egil's body was, much coin. So, in fact, Berham is going to suggest that they can pay them 10 gold apiece after the job is completed. Yeah, Berham's actually pretty broke, isn't he? Berham's very broke. They may not even be able to hire retainers. So 10 gold a piece. That's what Berham's going to be offering. I'm going to make the roll twice to see whether these town guards, go about doing so. So we're going to go here and we're going to make sure our die is working. Seems to be connected. We're going to roll the d20. We need to be under our charisma. One of them is going to go, yeah, all right. And the other one. Okay, both we got a 3. So both of them sign on. Both agree to 10 gold pieces apiece after the mission is completed. However, Berham also needs to outfit them, doesn't he? And he doesn't really have anything to go on. Berham himself only carries one weapon. Leocadia, however, she does carry more weapons, but she's not willing to give up her dagger, her sword, or her longbow to help to give to these guys. So we may have a little bit of an issue. Perhaps, well, we're going to need some weapons for this. Do you not have weapons and armor provided by the town guard? They're not so happy for us to be using those in our extracurricular activities. Berham is going to try to persuade them to perhaps just this one time make an exception. I'm just going to give him one roll of charisma, and that's going to be it. We're going to come back over here. One roll of charisma. He either gets it or he doesn't. And if he can't convince them, they're out. 5 it is. Berham convinces them that this one time they should use their town guard weapons and armor. That could come back to bite them on the ass. But for this one time, they agree. We are going to need some town guards here for our thing. So our normal humans, I really should build fighters. Do we have fighters somewhere in here? I think I should. Heroic characters, human fighter. Sure, we got a couple of human fighters. So, we're going to keep that open for now. I just leave that as is. Actually, maybe what I'll do is this. We'll create a character. Town guard. And then we'll edit. And we'll come back here and we'll make... There we go. Now, we're not going to be putting stats and everything in there. That's just going to kind of be for our retainer here. So just so we have something to come to. But let's save. No, it did not. Town guard. Okay, so we got these. We'll roll their hit points as we come to it here. But for now, there's one time they should use town guard weapons and armor. Yeah. And unfortunately, this session is really just about that and preparing because I do not have time to continue on from there. But we're set. We're just about ready to go. Should we hit the point we're going to roll more characters, I'm going to use these dice to make those rolls. I think that'll be kind of awesome. At least then I'm rolling real dice to make new characters. Not that I'm looking forward to anybody dying, but by the time we get to Ernesto of Clan Gygax's home and recruit Rowan, which I'm just calling a given, we are going to recruit Rowan unless something really bad happens. He will be a magic user ready to go out on the road. Unless something happens, something unexpected happens, Rowan will be joining the party. However, I'd like that party to be one, probably two more, considering what we're dealing with. The old school parties were always, it was always assumed they were about six player characters, right? About 6 players plus a dungeon master, I should say, in the group. So that's what I'm expecting later. But for now, I think we can safely say that we have finished this scene. So next time, when we come down to this, we're going to, and this will probably be tomorrow. I'm thinking we were in control there, so chaos factor is going to go down. That'll be our expected next scene. But is there anything that we can do to kind of tidy up our adventures list here? So our threads, no, we've recruited. We have recruited an additional party member, but we're not done. Return Martha's belongings, no. Find the Kuotoa lair, the fish people, nope. And Berham to avenge Egil's death, not yet. Nope, nothing there in the terms of the threads. Although I guess we could simply add recruit Ernesto's apprentice as a thread, and that way, I mean, we can kind of keep it a little open, maybe. Over here, though, due to Egil's death, I think there's some characters we can remove. Captain Mad Eye Hayes, no longer needed. Captain Christina, no longer needed. The rest of these, still needed, so we're just going to kind of shift these up. And if you've never used Mythic Game Master Emulator, the adventure lists here are I think, really clever in their simplicity. Because as you fill this out, you roll different dice, right? So in this case, it's a flip of a coin. It's a 1 to 2. I mean, you're not even really doing it, really. You don't even need this. You just roll on the character list. So for each one, if you only had one character here, you're just flipping a coin. Then you're rolling a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10. As you add more, now you're checking first of all which category by rolling a D4, then a D6, D8, D10, and then within those categories, yeah, you're rolling whatever dice it indicates as wherever the list basically stops. Same thing, of course, on the threads list when that happens. So I don't know. I do think it's a very clever way to do things, and I really wrong button. I really do enjoy how things work in Mythic. But for now, we'll get back to our party, which hopefully will have some long-lasting members this time. Next time, we will get back to them and continue their adventures. Take it easy.